Well, the time is just gone, 16 minutes past 9, as we continue with news and views this morning, right here on this beautiful day of Jum'ah. And if you have just tuned in, we trust and hope that you are enjoying the mercy, the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on this wonderful day of Jum'ah. Let us remind ourselves to recite abundant durood on our beloved Master Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Also recite Surah Kahf as encouraged as through our ulama as well. And also, at the same time, it is the month of July and the tax season has started. And this is the reason why we are joined by the Executive Secretary of the Association of Muslim Accountants and Lawyers, AMAL. We're talking with Haji Imran Subrati, and this is in association of Muslim accountants and lawyers in partnership with Al Barakah Bank, Al Ansar, and the Chatsworth Legal Circle. And this is a free advice, legal, tax, and accounting event that is taking place on the 20th of July, which is next week on Saturday. Haji Imran Subrati, Jummah Mubarak, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to you, my brother.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and Jummah Mubarak to you, Haji Naid Wadi, and to your listeners. And thank you so much for having me on your show.
Well, we know it is nightmare season. Tax season is always a nightmare season, and especially for us who are accountants. But also at the same time, we need to get the message out to the people. And more importantly, it is about equipping people. And looking at this event that is due to take place next week, a lot of people are looking for it. They are looking for guidance, they are looking for direction, they are looking for advice, and matters that in most cases seem to be complicated: legal, tax, and accounting.
Yes, absolutely. You know, when you speak of legal, tax, and accounting, it's a gremlin to all of us and to many people. I think no matter how experienced you are, even if you're an accountant, when you get a message from SARS or a letter from SARS, it stresses you. It's worse than getting a call from your father-in-law, you know. So it's always a challenge for us. If it's a challenge for experts, you can only imagine what a challenge and anxiety it must be for ordinary people. And with that in mind, and to bring ease to our communities and to really be their helpers, it is with that in mind that the Association of Muslim Accountants and Lawyers, and as you have pointed out, together with our partners, Al Ansar Foundation, Al Barakah Bank, and the Chatsworth Legal Circle, are bringing together an outreach program, which is really an amazing outreach program, because what we are making available at no cost to the public are the services of experts in their field. Experts in the field of legal field. In other words, you're going to have a whole a number of lawyers who are going to be there providing free consultation on a one-on-one basis. It's going to be very private. Each one will have a separate space, so you will have an opportunity to engage with a lawyer and talk about the challenges and the concerns you may have. You know, some people may have issues concerning their wills. Some may have issues concerning deceased estates, which is a huge problem. What do we do? Many have issues concerning marriages, etc., divorce proceedings, custody, issues with landlord-tenant issues. So there are so many challenges people face in day-to-day life. And this is your opportunity, alhamdulillah, at no cost, as a service by AMAL and its partners, to come to you, and you have an opportunity to engage with us. And just like the lawyers, we will have a number of tax and accounting practitioners as well, who will be there to assist you in completing your tax return, in guiding you in terms of various aspects. You know, if you're getting a travel allowance, what are the requirements of SARS? If you're unsure whether you should register for tax or not, come across to us. We will be able to guide you what needs to be done. So alhamdulillah, it's an amazing opportunity. It's actually part of AMAL's outreach program. This is the second we are doing for 2024. About 3 months ago, we hosted one in Chatsworth. It was very, very well and attended and very well appreciated. And this year we are hosting it in a central venue in the Overport area that's accessible to many people. Overport is a very central venue. So we're hoping people, your listeners, and those within reach of this message will avail themselves and come on next week, which is Saturday, the 20th of July, between the hours of 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. to the Al Ansar Foundation, Al Ansar Hall in Overport.
Well, I'm just looking at this poster, and it's dealing with a whole host of issues, both from a tax and accounting perspective, and also in terms of legal matters. And there are just so many issues, particularly when it comes to legal issues. And it's not only about trust. It's not only about leases and legal jargon, but also in terms of human rights. And this is of particular interest as well in terms of employer-employee relationships, rights and obligation as husband and wife. And I noticed you said father-in-law, so I'm not too sure whether you're talking about rights of the son-in-law and why you haven't mentioned mother-in-law, because I'm sure you must be loving your mother-in-law. But that's a side issue. But really, these are day-to-day issues, Haji Imran, that people are actually faced with. They've got to grapple with, and sometimes they actually struggle. And an event like this, where you're talking about free counseling, talking to experts in all the various disciplines that you speak about, just adds so much value. But also at the same time, for an organization like the Association of Muslim Accountants and Lawyers, it's about giving back to the community.
Absolutely. And this is the premise on which AMAL was established. And indeed, the Chatsworth Legal Circle, and of course, all the partners, including Al Ansar Foundation. And Alhamdulillah, Al Baraka Bank has had a very strong outreach in supporting NPOs, PBOs, and startup businesses, etc. So, Alhamdulillah, our partners, including AMAL, are committed to giving back to the community. And this is the spirit of our religion. This is the spirit of Islam. And indeed, this is the spirit of our responsibility as responsible citizens of our country. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put you in a position where you can give back, this is one opportunity. And it's also a tremendous opportunity for experts out there. And sometimes we always understand giving back in the monetary sense, and giving back in a monetary sense is important, but sometimes being able to listen to someone, being able to guide someone, being able to share your professional time aiding someone is equally, if not more important, because I think to get a half an hour to speak to a lawyer, to speak to any professional, you cannot place a value on that, Haji Nayed. The level of comfort, the level of guidance, the level of stewardship you get from that brief conversation is phenomenal. Money cannot really buy that there. So this is also an appeal, whilst you touched on that, is to professionals out there, those who are lawyers, accounting practitioners. Every day we are busy number crunching. We are busy charging our clients. We pay our zakat, alhamdulillah. But there's an opportunity for you to use the skill set that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, whether you're a lawyer, whether you are an accounting practitioner. This is an opportunity for you to come back and say, today I want to give my time for the pleasure of Allah to serve my community. And who knows, by your involvement and being part of this program of volunteer professionals who volunteer their time, you might impact on the life of many people. And you touched on an earlier subject. Sorry, over to you, Haji Naid.
Yes, I think just while we are at this, and you're talking about professionals, and it's also about giving back to the community, but also inspiring future generations, because this is important. Providing them with some sort of direction, with some sort of guidance as far as careers are concerned. And I've noticed on the poster in itself talking about the Amal Youth Wing and professional membership benefits as well. So, as you're encouraging these professionals to actually come forward, but there is a value add in terms of the inspiration that they can bring to future generations.
Most certainly. And our success as a community, our success as a country depends on how we ably invest in the future generations. It's pointless that Haji Inayat Wadi and Imran Subrati get all these acclaims and we give back. But in the process, we have not prepared a cadre of young people. We have not inspired a cadre of young people to whom we can hand over the baton. That is poor planning. And such conduct will unfortunately lead to an ultimate failure. So it's very, very important for us as community people, as professionals, and as leaders in our society that we must have a focused attention on developing our youth, on inspiring our youth. And alhamdulillah, Amal has a youth wing. And we encourage our young aspiring accountants, our young aspiring lawyers, and in fact, in any profession you may be, we invite you to become a member of the Association of Muslim Accountants and Lawyers Youth Chapter, which is a profound and a beautiful opportunity for our young people. You suddenly get a membership of a professional body that looks great on your CV. You get involved in outreach programs like this as young students as well. If you are becoming a young student, you're a young lawyer, if you join this and you volunteer your services, perhaps we will give you a certificate of attendance. We will give you, it will carry points towards your CPD, and you can add this to your CV. It enhances your ability to give back to your community. It enhances your CV in that a potential employer looks at it and see that there's a young person who is passionate about serving his people. So I also want to use that opportunity to invite young people to become members of AMAL, as well as invite young people to come on Saturday if you need career guidance. And if you want to give some of your time, you're most welcome to contact AMAL and give some of your time as well.
Well, Jazakallah, and I see, this is not only going to be about a talk, because normally in an event like this, you've got a few speakers and people will come and listen. This is obviously a very, very practical initiative and a practical event where there are going to be these one-on-one consultations taking place and also assisting people with practical problems. And this is the reason why you are calling on people to also bring their relevant documentation. For example, your taxes, your IRP5s, your IT3 certificates, medical aid, all these other things for the tax year as well, retirement annuity, and also at the same time for people wanting legal advice and they have any doubts with regard to certain issues like contracts or perhaps even trust deeds or whatever it is. At the end of the day, that could all assist and they could be pointed and guided in the right direction.
Yes, please. To get the best value out of next week's outreach program and free consultation, be sure to bring, as Haji Nayat has mentioned, all supporting documentation so that when you come there, you have an opportunity with a professional. Inshallah, if you have all the information available, your problems can be solved at that point in time. And if it's not solved at that point in time, you will be directed and in terms of what needs to be done. So please be sure to come with all the necessary information. It's out there in our posters and has, as Haji Naid Wadi has mentioned, your tax returns. I mean, your everything that you could possibly require. You need to bring it along for that consultation. And Haji Naid,
Good.
whilst I'm on it, before I go off air, I also just want to use the opportunity to, alhamdulillah, mention that Amal is celebrating its 40th year anniversary this year as well. We've been 40 years serving our communities, and 40 years is a milestone. And inshallah, in September, we will be having a commemoration or a celebration of the 40th year anniversary. And to commemorate that, we are having a fundraising dinner taking place in Durban at the Orient Hall on the 14th and 15th of September. The Friday night would be a gala dinner at Orient Hall. And on the Saturday will be a conference for the entire day that will be hosted at the Al Baraka Conference Center. The tickets for the event is 750 Rand per person. It's a fundraiser as well, and or 7,000 Rand for a table of 10. So I would appeal to your listeners out there to support Amal. Alhamdulillah, for 40 years we have been serving doing the type of things that we are doing right now. And we would really appreciate the support of the public for our annual our 40th year commemoration, inshallah.
Well, inshallah, we will continue, and I'm sure closer to time, we definitely will give coverage to this event that's about to take place. But just to reiterate, this is taking place on the 20th of July, which is next Saturday at the Al Ansar Hall. Haji Imran Subrati, Jazakallah khairan so much for that and for your time. Have yourself a wonderful Jummah, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah once again for having me, and all the best to you.
Haji Imran Subrati with us this morning, and with that, we're going to go for a break. Next up, Fired Up with Africa Muslim Agency, Hafiz Imran Chunara.